What's going on, people? Your boy Madmike coming at you guys with yet another episode of Unleashed. This will be a Q&A platform for the most part, and this one goes out to Anthony White. Going to give my honest opinion on what went wrong with the Atlanta Falcons former head coach Arthur Smith, this offense, and why indeed did this team, in a lot of people's eyes, fail. All right, let's make this sense. All right, let's make this as serious and straight to the point as I can. Look, I don't like the bullshit. Y'all know I like to get straight to the point. And I'm just going to say right off the bat, all right, the biggest mistake for the Atlanta Falcons, the first mistake for the Atlanta Falcons is this. 7-10, 7-10, 7-10. All right, the Falcons fans are impatient. The Falcons organization is impatient. They want to win. When you go from 2016-17 season, you are one of the best teams in the NFL. Losing is no longer an option. You have to win. You have to have a winning record. I don't give a damn how good this offensive line has made progress. I don't give a damn how good and how much the running game has made progress. People want to win. You go from having a guy like Kyle Pitts in his rookie year, all right, his rookie year, making it to a Pro Bowl and being one of the best young stars in the game, to being one of the most underused and underutilized players on the Atlanta Falcons offense. All right. He is the guy. He's the guy that you drafted at number 4 overall to be one of the staples in the offense. And quite frankly, when you have a guy like Tyler Algier, who's a 5th round pick, he's being utilized a lot better in this particular offense, better than a Kyle Pitts. We got a fucking problem, right? Make no mistake about it. You go from a guy that going to a Pro Bowl, 1,000 freaking yards in a season, in a rookie season. Granted that it was Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan is without a doubt, without a shot of a doubt, a Hall of Famer. I don't think anybody in their right mind can look at themselves and say, yeah, Matt Ryan is not a Hall of Famer. This dude is a legend. So when you have a guy like a Kyle Pitts, you have a guy like a Marcus Mariota, after having Matt Ryan for 14 years, you're looking at yourself and saying, this shit is not going to work. All right, it's not going to work. It won't work. Fans are not going to sit around and wait for stuff to happen. This is what the Atlanta Falcons fans are right now. They want to win. And again, the first thing that went wrong, you have to win. The Falcons cannot wait. And Falcons fans will not wait for this team to win. So that's the first thing that went wrong. The second thing that went wrong in regards to Arthur Smith is his fucking ego. It's your fucking ego. Sometimes as a head coach, you got to understand what your vision is. You came in wanting to be physical. You came in the league wanting to run the ball. Especially, let me rewind that a bit. You came to the Atlanta Falcons wanting to establish a culture of toughness, running the ball, being physical. And quite frankly, you did that for the most part. You stuck with Tyler Algier. You stuck with CP. You stuck with a guy like Bijan Robinson. You gave these guys touches. You turned this offensive line into one of the better offensive lines in the league. Okay, I don't think anybody can deny. You got a guy like Jake Matthews. You drafted a guy like Matthew Bergeron. You got Drew Dahlman, who's one of the better young centers in the game. And you have, in my opinion, the best guard in the NFL in Chris Lindstrom. Caleb McGarry has made strides. He's one of the better right tackles in the league. So this offense has what it takes. You have the talent. You have a Drake London, all right, who set a record for the receptions in Falcons history. So you have two receivers that have the talent. Nobody can say whether or not or deny that Kyle Pitts and Drake London, those guys are talented. Nobody can say that Bijan Robinson isn't one of the better young players and superstar players, potentially superstar players in the league. This guy is a stud. The Falcons have studs all across the board. So when you look at what he has at his disposal and you look at the record, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. These guys are underestimated. They're underutilizing, and they're just not living up to what we all want and what their potential is. So the thing is with Arthur Smith, the biggest thing, and the third one, outside of the record, you got to look at the offensive coordinator. This is where I feel the Atlanta Falcons went royally wrong. This is where I feel like Arthur Smith went royally wrong. And I'm going to get to the fourth one. But the third one for me is the most important. Why in the capital FUCK hire a guy like Dave Ragone that has no history of any type of success? He has no history of success. He has no history of being a good play caller. You brought this guy in as a first-time play caller who does not have and not known to be a guy that to put together and learn from some of the greatest. I'm talking about some of the greatest head coaches and great coaches and offensive minds in the league. He doesn't have that resume. He is not that good. He's never been that talented. So you brought him into a situation with a young quarterback in Desmond Ridder, a young quarterback and a young team and a young tight end, a young running back, a young offensive line, a young wide receiver. For him, the guy that has no history, the guy has no history of success and having a top 10, a top 5 offense and have one of the better passing games or the better running game. He doesn't have a history of that. He's been average his whole career, and you brought him in to lead a young team. This is one of the dumbest things that he ever did, what Arthur Smith did with Dave Ragone. And having him be the play caller, having him help design the passing game for the Atlanta Falcons. And to couple that, you did not have a quarterback's coach for a young quarterback. This right here, the fourth one with Desmond Ridder. This is where the Falcons screwed themselves. They screwed the organization, they screwed the team, and they screwed the fans out of a Pro Bowl or a playoff year because you did not have a fucking plan for your quarterback. So if you as a head coach are so egotistical that you do not bring in qualified head coaches, you did not bring in qualified coaches to help teach a young guy. This is his first full year as a quarterback. A first full year as a quarterback, and you telling me you're gonna put him with a guy that never has developed a quarterback before? This is one of the dumbest things that you can ever do as a head coach. To put a young offense, to put a young quarterback who already has, a lot of doubters, naysayers. He's not the greatest when it comes down to his mechanics. He needs he needs to be developed properly. He has mechanical issues. He has confidence issues. Coming into college, he was a 4-star, so he had to work his way up to be, selected and even drafted in NFL. So he needs work. Desmond Ridder needed work. Did he and does he have the qualities to be a decent quarterback in the NFL? Absolutely. But when you put him with a coach that does not have the resume of building or developing a quarterback, how can you as a head coach look at yourself and say, yeah, I did everything that I possibly could to put these guys in the best position? And this is why the Atlanta Falcons failed. It's because Arthur Smith and his freaking ego, he thought he was the biggest, smartest guy in the room. And anytime that you feel like you're the smartest guy in the room, you're doomed for failure. The Atlanta Falcons should have had an offensive coordinator that knew and has the experience and has the ability to call plays. a lot of times we sitting on the sideline, we have no fucking clue what Arthur Smith is thinking. We have no fucking clue. He has no clue on what he's going to do next. To see a head coach on the sideline looking perplexed, like he has no clue what he's going to do, what's wrong, how he's going to fix the passing game. The Falcons were greatly, and I'm going to say this, Desmond Ridder was put in a situation where he was going to fail because of Arthur Smith's ego. You take back what you said. You said you wouldn't make you wouldn't have musical chairs. Well, you did exactly the opposite. One game is Desmond Ridder. The next game is Taylor Heineke. The next game is Desmond Ridder. You played musical chairs. You had no freaking clue how to put together a passing game. You had no clue on how to use Tyler Algier and Bijan Robinson in the same game. We saw the exact same play when it comes down to Bijan Robinson. Throw the ball to the right side of the field, let him make a move, and wait everybody else. Everybody else wait their time. What are we going to do with Kyle Pitts? Well, I don't know. You had no clue if you wanted to use him in crossing routes. You had no clue if you wanted to use him as seam. You had no clue that you wanted to. You had no clue on if you wanted to use him as a deep threat, a middle threat, or just a short threat. Just a threat, period. You had no plan for Kyle Pitts. You had no plan for Kyle Pitts. You had no plan for this Atlanta Falcons offense. You underutilized a guy like Cordero Patterson, who could have been playing in the slot. He could have been a wide receiver. He could have been a running back. But a lot of times, you had no plan for him. The only guy that I feel like you truly had a plan for was Tyler Algier. And ironically, that's what you're best at, is running the damn ball. And for whatever reason, the Falcons thought they was going to come out. We're going to pass the ball. We deviated from the original plan because you thought that you had a great plan. In actuality, you had no freaking plan at all. You wanted to make it the Bijan Robinson show, and you failed at that. And this is no shot at Bijan Robinson because he had a terrific rookie year. A fantastic rookie year. So what went wrong with Arthur Smith? What went wrong in his tenure is his ego. He thought he was the smartest guy in the room, and when you feel like you're the smartest guy in the room, you're doomed for failure. You're doomed for failure. And this is why the Atlanta Falcons have a new head coach in Raheem Morris. And the last one that I have, gotta say this, I think the fans lost total confidence in him, but I think there's a bigger issue at hand, and we're going to see what happens with this particular team. If they play much better on the offensive side of the ball, and we see everybody start to come into their own, and we see players that we seen before, it's like you look at these guys and say, wow, where did you come from? Where was this under Arthur Smith? If these players play to the level and the capability that we think they could, we know for sure that Arthur Smith pretty much killed the locker room for the Atlanta Falcons. He killed the confidence of Kyle Pitts. He killed the confidence of Drake London. He killed the confidence of Tyler Algier, the offense in its entirety. You destroyed the confidence and the chemistry with this Atlanta Falcons offense. You did it. So at the end of the day, what went wrong with Arthur Smith and this Atlanta Falcons offense and this Atlanta Falcons team is Arthur Smith's ego. Stop trying to be the smartest guy in the room and do what's best for the team. Get help. It's okay to have other coaches who possibly could know more about the game than you. Okay? It's not about you. It's about winning. The Falcons are trying to get to the Super Bowl. The Falcons are trying to win the Super Bowl. And you can't do that when your ego is the center of attention. So let me know what you guys think about that. This has been another episode of Unleash. Continue to leave these questions for your boy Madmike. Again, check us out. All of the post-game shows will be on the Heavy Hitters live channel on YouTube, as well as Madmike Sports, the Originators, Six Man K Styles, Atlanta Falcons Nation. These podcasts, you can find this on Apple, Spotify, and all your podcasting platforms around. So check us out. This has been another episode of Unleash, Ask Madmike segment. Shout out to Anthony White for this particular question. Again, if you want your question asked in video form, just like this one, your question could be answered. That's all I got to say about that. Continue to support your boy here at Madmike Sports. I'm out, baby. Peace.